Hey guys, welcome to our channel. Most of the time here we'll be talking about proper care for some of the animals you may see come in through the rescue here. The damage that improper care can do to these poor animals, some of our events, what's going on with the rescue, or just reptile stuff in general. Today we're mainly here to introduce ourselves to those who just may not know who we are. So stick around. All right, guys, my name is Brian, and I'm the director of Alamo City Reptile Rescue. We're a reptile rescue based in San Antonio, Texas, but we also work with some of the surrounding cities, Austin, New Braunfels, San Marcos, Corpus, all that good stuff, pretty much anywhere within reasonable distance. We deal with any non-venomous snake, lizard, amphibians, turtles and tortoises from time to time will come through us, but they usually end up at another rescue that specializes in those guys. And on the very rare occasion, we'll deal with small furry animals like rats, rabbits, ferrets, chinchillas, stuff like that. Sugar gliders once in a while too. But those are, like I said, very rare. Our main focus is reptiles. Now, these reptiles come to us for a lot of different reasons, and one of those reasons is that people just don't do the proper research on them. They may see them at a pet store, an expo, wherever, and see this cute little baby lizard or snake and think it's going to stay that way forever. And they may even be told it's going to stay small, but that's not always the case. Some of these animals do grow 3 feet or larger, and people think they're going to stay the size of a leopard gecko for the rest of their lives, which is not the case. Another reason that we take in some animals is because sometimes life just gets in the way. And by that, I mean, you can lose your job, you can't afford to keep up with the animal anymore. You may have to move and the new place isn't going to allow reptiles. And kind of the same lines along that is if you're in the military and you get deployed somewhere and you can't take the animal with you. One of the other ways that we get animals in is kind of rare too, but pet stores. If a pet store has difficulty selling an animal because it's not eating like it should be, or if it's not tame enough to be sold as a pet, they'll surrender them to us as well. Now, of course, whatever the reason that an animal comes to us, we're not here to judge, we're here to help. Now, once an animal comes to us, we have to get it in a proper enclosure, and that can vary depending on what type of setting that animal is usually found in. So if it's a desert animal, if it's a tropical animal, if it's arboreal, which meaning it likes to climb, or if it's terrestrial, meaning it needs more floor space to just crawl or slither around, we have to get that right. We also have to worry about lighting, any type of heat source, the substrate, the humidity levels, all that good stuff. Once we get that taken care of, we try and handle our animals as much as possible if that species allows for it. And what I mean by that is some animals just don't like to be held, and some it can actually become damaging to their health. So those animals we just let do their thing, but ball pythons, bearded dragons, the typical personable animals we'll try to handle each day, just so that we can get a sense of what they may or may not like in terms of being picked up or how they like being held, so we can pass that information along to the new home they're going to. The other thing we monitor very closely is the animal's health. We check for any type of wheezing, any kind of issues with their scales, like scale rot, and then anything that may be abnormal about their stools, stuff like that. And if anything does pop up, we have a couple of vets that we go to, one in particular, that are great with reptiles and other exotics. The main one that we use is Broadway Oaks, but there are a couple other great ones in town. You just have to ask them or ask around and see how they are with reptiles and exotics. Once all that's said and done and we're ready to find these animals new homes, we're very fortunate enough to work with an organization called PetSmart Charities. these guys allow us to do adoption events in all their stores across town and try to help find these guys new homes. And these guys are great. You should look them up. They're more about just the adoption side. They also help out, rescues as much as they can and do a lot of great stuff. I'll post the link to them in the description. Besides adoption events, we also get to do a lot of educational and promotional events. And those are hosted at different businesses, libraries, schools, different places like that. And those give us a great opportunity to provide some one-on-one interaction with the community. And the reason that that's important to us is because a lot of people have what we like to call a reptile dysfunction. I'll say that again, a reptile dysfunction. Let that sink in for a minute. All right. Now, what that means is a lot of people just have like this fear or this misunderstanding of reptiles. They don't think they'll ever make a good pet, and so on. And by providing that interaction with them, we get to show them that there's nothing to be afraid of and that some of these guys are actually great pets. I've shown a lot of times that you can actually form bonds with some of these animals. Just like any other animal, they all have their own individual personalities. And we've had rescues come in where when we went to go pick them up, their owner was bawling their eyes out because they've had them since they were a baby. They spent time with them every day. And these kind of events help us to get people to understand that. Another great thing about these events is we get to help people get over their fears, maybe hold a reptile for the first time. And that's usually the adults, because the kids that come to our events have no fear. They're the first ones to run up. Oh, can I see that? Can I hold it? What is that? And that excitement you see in their eyes is just awesome, especially when they get to hold it and take pictures with it. And they look at the picture, you just see a smile from ear to ear on them. And in turn, that creates smiles on our faces. That's great when you see kids doing that. It gives us hope that future generations will, know the awesomeness that comes with owning a reptile. Now, one of the main places that we do a lot of these events at is a place called Arctic Ape. And these guys are awesome because they've supported us from the beginning. I remember back in our first events, we had one table, we had maybe 20 people show up for the night, and we had like maybe 3 animals with us. Now it's come to the point of where we have 4 or 5 tables set up, we have 6 to 10 volunteers show up, and we have a couple of hundred people easily show up. And it used to be once every couple of months, once every 3 months that we would do these events. Now it's basically once every month. And of course, we can't do that right now with all this, craziness going on. And the only months that we don't do are the colder winter months, because these are outdoor events and because, of course, these are cold-blooded animals. Now, Arctic Ape, if you don't know, they're a family-owned frozen yogurt shop that have a ton of toppings, and the staff there is just awesome. And to be honest, every time we do an event there, I probably spend way more money than I should. But hey, what can I say? And what I love most about these guys is that our events there are also fundraising events for us. So the time that we're there, they take 20% of their sales during that time, and they turn around and donate it back to the rescue. Now, we've had other businesses do this from time to time, but like I said, these guys have been there since day one. If you want to keep up with any of our events, our adoption events, educational events, etc., you can go to AlamoCityReptileRescue.com, and I have a calendar on there where I list all our events coming up. You can also keep up with us on a daily basis by checking our Facebook and our Instagram. Just look up Alamo City Reptile Rescue and you'll find us pretty easily. On the website, I also list other businesses that have contributed to our cause. Some of them being like Exoterra, Zilla, SeaWorld, the San Antonio Zoo, just to name a few. And they've donated supplies, they've donated merchandise, they've donated different things for us to raffle off. And Their help, along with community support in the form of donations and supplies, is what helps us keep going. Now, another way you can help with donations is a pretty simple one. You can go to Amazon Smile. And what it is basically everything you can find on Amazon is there. But when you shop through there, you get to pick a charity, and that charity gets a percentage of your purchase. Now, if you want to pick us for that, thank you. But you can also pick any charity of your choice and they'll get a percentage of your sale. Amazon handles all that. All you do is shop. They take care of the rest. Also, on eBay, when you're putting something up for sale, you can choose to designate that a percentage of that sale goes to us as well. Another cool way you can help is through Chewy.com. Now, on our website, we have a link that if you use that link, any new customer that purchases something, Chewy.com will automatically donate $20 to our rescue, which is pretty cool. Now, if you guys have any questions or comments, feel free to use the Contact Us page on our website, or just drop a comment below. We'll get back to you as soon as we can. Keep an eye out for our next video. We'll be talking about the little bearded dragon you see at the end of our intro. His name is AJ, and he's actually partially paralyzed thanks to some things that happened with his previous owners. But like I said, we'll talk about that in our next video. Hope to see you soon. Thank you.